Hello friend. Welcome to MovieMark. Today we have brought you some amazing mystery movies, which are masterpiece movies forever. Hope you will like them. So let's start today's video. Number 10. The Invisible. This movie based on crime drama fantasy genres, with 6.1 IMDb rating. A teenager is left invisible to the living after an attack. High school senior Nick Powell plans to skip his graduation and fly to London for a writing program, despite the plan of his controlling mother, Diane. His mother pressures him to succeed and is emotionally distant. Nick's best friend, Pete Egan, confides in him that he is bullied by Annie Newton, a troubled teen. Nick attempts to step in on one such occasion, only for it to escalate into a physical confrontation. Annie's closest friends are violent thieves, and her boyfriend, Marcus, is on parole for similar violations. Number 9. Midsommar. This movie based on drama horror mystery genres, with 7.1 IMDb rating. American psychology student Danny Arter is left deeply traumatized after her sister commits a murder-suicide by filling the house with carbon monoxide, killing herself and their parents. The incident further strains Danny's relationship with her increasingly distant boyfriend of 4 years, cultural anthropology student, Christian. As summer approaches, she learns that Christian and fellow students Mark and Josh have been invited by their Swedish friend Pelle to attend a midsummer festival at his ancestral commune, the Harga, in rural Hälsingland, Sweden. Number 8. Perfume: The Story of a Murderer. This movie based on crime drama fantasy genres, with 7.5 IMDb rating. The film begins with the sentencing of Jean-Baptiste Grenouille, a notorious murderer. Between the reading of the sentence and the execution, the story of his life is told in flashback, beginning with his abandonment at birth in a French fish market. Raised in an orphanage, Grenouille grows into a strangely detached boy with a superhuman sense of smell. After growing to maturity as a tanner's apprentice, he makes his first delivery to Paris, where he revels in all the new scents. He focuses on a red-headed girl selling yellow plums, following her and repeatedly attempting to sniff her, but startles her with his behavior. Number 7. Flight Plan. This movie based on drama mystery thriller genres, with 6.3 IMDb rating. Recently widowed Berlin-based American aviation engineer Kyle Pratt takes her husband David's body back to the US with her 6-year-old daughter Julia, aboard an aircraft she helped design, a brand new Elgin 474, loosely based on the Airbus A380, operated by Alto Airlines. Awakening from a nap, Kyle finds Julia missing, and none of the passengers or crew recall seeing her. Number 6. Now You See Me. This movie based on crime mystery thriller genres, with 7.2 IMDb rating. An FBI agent and an Interpol detective track a team of illusionists who pull off bank heists during their performances, and reward their audiences with the money. Magicians J. Daniel Atlas, Merritt McKinney, Henley Reeves, and Jack Wilder each receive a tarot card leading them to a New York City apartment, where they discover hologram technology with instructions from an unknown benefactor. A year later, at the MGM Grand Las Vegas, they perform as the Four Horsemen in a show funded by insurance magnate Arthur Tressler. Their final trick appears to transport an audience member inside the vault of the Credit Republicain Bank in Paris. Stacks of euros are drawn into the vault's air vents and showered on the Las Vegas crowd. The trick is shown to have actually happened as the Paris vault is found empty of its recent shipment of euros. Number 5. Searching. This movie based on crime mystery thriller genres, with 7.6 IMDb rating. David Kim lives in San Jose, California with his daughter Margot. His wife Pamela was diagnosed with lymphoma and died before Margot entered high school. One night Margot attempts to call David 3 times, but he is asleep. The next morning David cannot get in contact with Margot. Believing she has gone to her piano lesson after school, David calls the piano instructor, but he is informed that Margot cancelled her lessons 6 months prior. He discovers that she was pocketing the money and transferred it to a now-deleted Venmo account. Number 4. Sleepy Hollow. This movie based on fantasy horror mystery genres, with 7.3 IMDb rating. Ichabod Crane is sent to Sleepy Hollow to investigate the decapitations of 3 people, with the culprit being the legendary apparition, the Headless Horseman. In 1799, Ichabod Crane, a New York City police constable criticized for his predilection for scientific methods, is dispatched to the upstate Dutch hamlet of Sleepy Hollow, which has been plagued by a series of brutal decapitations, a wealthy father and his son, Peter and Dirk Van Gerrit, and a widow, Emily Winship. Number 3. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This movie based on crime drama mystery genres, with 7.8 IMDb rating. Journalist Michael Blomkvist is aided in his search for a woman who has been missing for 40 years by young computer hacker Lisbeth Salander. In Stockholm, journalist Michael Blomkvist is recovering from the legal and professional fallout of a libel suit brought against him by businessman Hans-Erik Wennerström. The wealthy Henrik Vanger offers Blomkvist evidence against Wennerström in exchange for an unusual task: investigate the 40-year-old disappearance and presumed murder of Henrik's grandniece, 16-year-old Harriet. Every year, Vanger receives a framed pressed flower, the same type she always gave him on his birthday before disappearing. He believes her killer is taunting him. Blomkvist moves into a cottage on the Vanger family estate on Hedestad Island. Number 2. Rear Window. This movie based on mystery thriller genres, with 8.5 IMDb rating. A wheelchair-bound photographer spies on his neighbors from his Greenwich Village courtyard apartment window, and becomes convinced one of them has committed murder, despite the skepticism of his fashion model girlfriend. Recuperating from a broken leg, professional photographer L.B. Jeffries is confined to a wheelchair in his apartment in Greenwich Village, Manhattan. His rear window looks out onto a courtyard and other apartments. During an intense heat wave, he watches his neighbors, who keep their windows open to stay cool. Number 1. 7. This movie based on crime drama mystery genres, with 8.6 IMDb rating. In a city overcome with violent crime and corruption, disillusioned police detective, William Somerset, is 1 week from retirement. He is partnered with David Mills, a short-tempered but idealistic detective who recently relocated to the city with his wife, Tracy. On Monday, Somerset and Mills investigate an obese man forced to eat until his stomach burst, killing him, and uncover the word gluttony written on the wall. Somerset fails to get himself and Mills reassigned to another case, believing it is too extreme for his last investigation. The following day, the second victim, Greed, is found, having been forced to cut a pound of flesh from his body. So friends, I hope you liked the video. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this.